Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner, and this is stage 6 of Paris-Nice. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like the content, and we'll keep it rolling for you guys. Plenty of bike racing to come throughout the season, and so far this is looking like fantastic year 2, much like 2021 was. A lot of bike racing going on right now, and a lot of the favorites really battling out. Today in Paris-Nice, 6-man break gets up the road. Most important guy in there to keep an eye on is Anthony Perez because he has the Mountain Points leaders jersey right now. So getting in that early break, stealing maximum points, will allow him to secure that jersey with only 2 more stages left in Paris-Nice. Now, that break really gets going and gets about a 3-minute gap, but they're not allowed any more time than that because, of course, it's bike exchange back there with sprinter and somewhat of a climber, fast finisher, of course, Michael Matthews. He is a sprinter, but he can get over these climbs and he can finish on a climb if it's not too long. So today, they're thinking this is a perfect stage for Michael Matthews to get in there, get some points back for that green jersey too. So not only can they win the stage, but they can get Michael Matthews up there in the green jersey. Bike Exchange is really focused on today's stage to win with Michael Matthews. They're getting a little bit of help from some of the other teams, and Jumbo-Visma's jumping in there occasionally too at the beginning and middle parts of this stage. But it's really the chance for the break to make it to the line when you got a team like Bike Exchange and other teams in there thinking, man, we can really possibly pull this stage win away. So when we get down near the finish with about 14K to go, it's the EF Education rider, Jonas Rutsh, that is up there tacking through the roundabout. The main part of the group goes left. He's going right around the roundabout and allows them a good springboard to jump away. There's only one rider left up the road now from the original break of 6, and it's Guillaume Martin. He's a good climber, but his legs are tired. Guys, he's been out there all day, and he's hurting now. Now, when the EF Education rider gets to him, they have a bunch of arguments. Again, you know, on the Butterfly Effect, I talk about this all the time. Why waste time arguing? You could tell Guillaume Martin, he is very tired. He's struggling out of every turn there to stay on the EF Education rider's wheel. Jonas just wants no part of having a rider like Guillaume Martin sitting on his wheel because he is a climber, but Kenny's just done. He's cooked. I mean, he's going to need his swan years tonight. When he's sleeping, he's going to need his swan years to come in every hour and just roll that boy over on the bed because he did a lot of work today and he's cooked. Anyways, EF Education rider wants no part of it. He finally gets Kenny to come through at about 3.5K. Kenny does one pull, and of course, what does the EF Education rider do? He attacks him as hard as he can and drops him. So he finally talked him into doing a pull and then just tacked him right afterwards. You know Kenny was not happy about that, and he's going to remember that. Days later, races later, months later, next year, he's still going to be remembering that kid doing that big dig on him after he finally decided to help him out. Now, you look back there, I want to point out the Astana rider, Vlasov, who flats. He flats, he's smart, he does a quick bike change with his teammate, he jumps back on that, he's in the caravan cars coming back to the group. This shows how much form that this rider has. He's a young kid, he's been shining, he was riding good last year at the Tour of Spain, and now he's coming back, but he's going to attach back onto the back of the group with about 4K to go. That doesn't allow him much rest before the final climb starts to the finish line. So we know he is riding good in order to stop back there with 4 or 5K and then chase that hard. Latches back on with about 4K to go. Flatted with about 7. Latched back on with about 4. So he did a 3K chase back there all on his own through the cars. And then still manages to get a good result near the front without losing time to Primoz Roglic on today's stage. Let's get into the finish. Jonas is getting caught there. It's none other than Deceuninck Quickstep riding on the front. And they're riding for Sam Bennett, but guys, Sam Bennett can't climb. I mean, he is a rock. That boy is big and built like a brick, and he climbs about as good as a brick. Last year at the Tour de France, we saw him many times try to get over those climbs with the Bora Hansgrohe team that would just drop him early in the stage, and you'd never see Sam again. Now today, they're going to try to get Sam to the finish on an uphill stage. It's not going to happen. Deceuninck Quickstep do a great job. I think it's Florian Senchel up there that's driving on the front. Sam Bennett gets popped quickly after the climb starts to the finish line. Nobody bothered to tell the Deceuninck Quickstep rider he's on the front, so he's still just driving it on the front, assuming he's got Sam Bennett back there, and then finally blows. Now with 400, maybe 75, 450 meters from the line, is really when you see the Cofidis rider, Guillaume Martin, throw an attack from the left side. You have Primoz Roglic sitting over on the right. Guillaume Martin flies up, and he's tacking from a little ways back, which is a bad place to start from because he's already got to do 50 meters before he even gets up to the front. By the time he's passing Primoz Roglic, Roglic does a big acceleration and latches onto his wheel. Guillaume Martin is known for this. He did it a lot last year. I showed it on the butterfly effect during the Tour of Spain, and he puts in some impressive digs, just comes up short at the line. Today, I'm 50-50 on this move. I like that he went to the front, but if you look, it's his Cofidis teammate, Christophe Laporte, that's sitting third wheel. So when Guillaume Martin attacks, I like the move that he's trying to go solo to the line. Once they hit the little dip there in the climb, it's probably still going up, but it looks like a tiny little dip that's dropping. You see him look back, and he sees none other than Primoz Roglic, the number one rider in the world. He's winning everything. He's winning here at Paris-Nice. He's wearing the leader's jersey. He's already won a stage. He's worn the green jersey. He's wearing the yellow. And you look back and you see Primoz Roglic on your wheel, and right behind him is Christophe Laporte. Now, Christophe Laporte is a fast finisher. He's already won early in the season against top fields of sprinting fields when there's a little bit of a bump. I believe it was Etoile Bessèges maybe that he won at, one of those early races, and he beat some fast guys there. So when Guillaume Martin looks back and he sees Primoz Roglic there and his teammate Christophe Laporte, there's no more reason to go 100% to lead out Primoz Roglic. You want to leave it a little bit short. So I liked his aggressive attack to go and try to win solo. But right after it wasn't working, and it's yellow jersey wearer on your wheel, you have to swing off there and leave Primoz Roglic 250 meters from the line in the front. So it gives your man Christophe Laporte back there a chance to beat him. Now remember, there's Michael Matthews right behind Christophe Laporte too. So it's a dilemma, huh? If it goes too slow, Michael Matthews is also going to get a little bit of rest, and we're going to have a good sprint between Christophe Laporte and Michael Matthews. Instead, it's Guillaume Martin, and he's just drilling it all the way to the line for as long as he can. Gives Primoz Roglic a fabulous lead out into the line. Primoz takes it from about 125 meters before the line, punches it hard, and goes across celebrating another victory, his second on Paris-Nice. Folks, not only is it his second stage win, not only does he put time on the favorites for the general classification, but he's back in green also. And as we learned on today's stage, they're shortening tomorrow's stage, and of course, the last stage that was normally supposed to finish in Nice is not going to be doing that. Both, they went from about a 100-mile stage to a 75-mile stage tomorrow, and then it's a 65, 70-mile stage on the last day that will decide this. These short stages are going to be intense and fun to watch. When it comes to Jumbo-Visma, this is where missing Tony Martin from that crash at yesterday's stage is going to play a big part. Tony Martin could have easily have done 40 miles on the front on tomorrow's stage and the next one, and then sat up and let his mountain climbers on the Jumbo-Visma guys look after Primoz Roglic. Without Tony Martin there, they're going to have to ride some of the mountain guys like George Bennett earlier than they would have liked to. And George is a little bit off on form. Steven Kruijswijk is riding good, but he's not on his top form. So when you miss Tony Martin, look for that on tomorrow's stage, that maybe George Bennett is riding a little bit sooner than we normally have to see him on a stage like that. The next two stages are going to be exciting. I'm already looking forward to it. When they're short like this and when they're climbing and punching, all these riders are explosive for 80 miles, so they can all go. Even the sprinters can put on a show for an 80-mile race. So enjoy tomorrow's and the next stage because they've been shortened and we're going to see some great Paris-Nice action on these last two stages. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys real soon.